Oh, don't do the one.
No. I'm not doing it.
It's a little bit of Belfast in it.
I'm going to stick with it all show.
Try my
very best.
Try your best, so you will.
I don't want to offend anyone.
It's quite there. It's like it's odd.
Shouldn't really reference it.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Don't reference it.
Don't reference what?
There's a key word, isn't there, with every accent?
What's the one for that?
I don't know. I forgot what it is.
Boondock Saints.
Anyway, we're technically live.
Oh, okay. What on the? Are we live, or are we just?
No, technically live.
Oh, I think there's a word weird, wasn't there? Because Birmingham is Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Birmingham.
Yeah. All right, so I'm from Birmingham.
Yeah.
The word for that, wasn't it?
I think instead of Ringo, Thomas the Tank Engine would have been better in a Brummie.
Yeah, that's not bad.
James pulled up at the station, but there was no one there.
Oh, but I quite like. There's something charming about Ringo just in person. Is the fact he is. I don't even think they gave him a script. I think he just saw the picture and just made it up.
Thomas was a right cunt.
So the fucking show is over there.
Oh God, I've gone Brummie now for some reason as well. It's us, the Beatles. We're over here by the train. Right, so I've done it again. Gone again. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I can only do accents while swearing in other languages, which doesn't really count.
No, it doesn't, because we don't know if it's right.
No, exactly.
That's the important thing about being British.
I'll roll the old intro.
Okay, mate. All right, mate. You can't hear us over it. Wonder it. I heard that.
Oh, did you check that?
Yeah, you can hear it a little bit. They won't care.
Boobs.
Cunt.
You can hear it, Brad.
And now we've lost that etiquette. Free.
After that, I lose a window over
And that's the end of the show.
Okay,
welcome to the Ideal Home Show. Shut up, Brad, you idiot. Welcome to the Ideal Home Show, episode 196. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see all of your smiling faces in chat. John, what you have for lunch? What you drinking? What you vaping? And what's your favourite thing that your dog Phoebe has ever done, or an interesting moment with the dog?
I can do that.
That's about your dog, John.
It is. Yeah. Really crazy, stupid, busy week, but good. I'm all right. I don't really get down most of the time, so it's fine. What happened? For lunch is good. You're going to enjoy lunch because it sounds like something Richard would say to me that I did have for lunch. I had
a Ferrero Rocher.
Not bad. It's getting there.
And half an apple.
Did you have jelly beans? I love jelly beans.
I had 3 Fox's Venetian fingers.
Bloody hell.
And
why did you not have 4 for a full handful? Why did you not go for 4 and a thumb, a Venetian thumb?
And I had 4 Medulla dates. Do you know what? I don't normally like Christmas, but there are Christmas foods that are amazing. Medulla dates, those, I think that's what they're called. They're amazing. Those big, fat, juicy dates, big man. Yeah, basically I ate in under 3.5 minutes, and that was the fastest thing I thought I could eat. So, my vaping on. Oh, I've got 3 today. I think should have. Yeah, 3. It's gonna go with 3. Oh yeah. I've got a pipe. with a Dwar Smart Guardian 3 with a Dwar 16 on top. In that is 50 milligram crack current. Then I have got an Abstract Mods flask.
I haven't seen that for a bit.
Oh, it's back. It's back.
That's been hiding away.
Yeah, where's that been?
Big, and it's back.
It's back. And it's got a Dwar 22 on top.
It's just dwarf. It's just dwarf.
Dwarf.
And I think what that flask does dwarf that dwarf.
It's going to done it. You got to say that.
Yeah,
big fat juicy dates, John. That sounds like one of them Channel 4 programs that you get at like 9 o'clock.
Sounds like a video that was underneath your dad's.
Coming up next on Big Fat Juicy Dates.
Oh, check it out, Big Fat Juicy Dates. I've got the Dwar on top of the Abstract Mods flask. And it's got Shaky Brews, the original apple tobacco. It's 50 milligram salt mate. Liking that. Really goes with beer as well, the apple tobacco. And last but by no means least, oh, he's in the country. He's in the country yet? Don't know. John Nathan of 80 Volt Vapes, who make, and Cassidy, who make, can only be one, is in the country, but can only be breakfast. I've got in here, it's 20 milligram. Instead, I've got it with the Velvet Vapes. I can't remember what the, anyway, it's the Velvet Vapes. What's it called? Thing, tube, and a coil and shit. And can only be breakfast, 20 milligram. It's funky. So you can tell it's 20 milligram because of the clouds. That's how you know it's 20 milligram. That.
Yeah.
I'm drinking on Ease Up IPA. And I've got some forklift disco, whatever it's called, disco forklift mango IPA. It's all right as well. Funniest thing the dog's ever done. It'll be something weird.
Or a dog-related anecdote featuring Phoebe.
Yeah, I can do a dog related. Dog related anecdote. Oh, anyone who knows a dog. Weirdly, anyone's got a dog will know this is really funny, but it's really funny for no real reason. Every so often, if you've got a dog, your dog will trip over when it's on a walk, and it is the funniest fucking thing in the world. They're just walking along, and then they just go trip, and then all four legs, and then fall over on their face. It's amazing. It's the funniest fucking thing in the world because it doesn't look.
It's a hazard having your nose that far in front of your toes.
Yeah, and they just go and then fall over, flat on their face, and then get up with that look of, did anyone see that?
Yeah, they almost fold over like a scorpion.
Yeah, and then pop up and go, no, it wasn't me.
Nobody saw that.
Which is good. Yeah, that is a funniest dog thing. There's another one, which is our dog eats everything. And if you've got a dog that eats anything, it's fine if it eats anything. You've just got to wait for it to come out the other end, or you have to call the vet. Things I've watched come out the other end: a felt owl bookmark, £2, a marble, a grape, and a felt monkey. I've seen them all come out of the balloon knot that is my dog's bum.
It's got an image of you sitting watching your dog's bum.
No, you just have to wait.
Like a failure like that.
You do it. It's easier to do it through a shit bag than actually try and find it. It's quite weird when you've got a poo bag and you're holding it and like rolling your hands. You're like, yes, there is a quid in there. I can just ignore that.
You didn't? Did you keep the quid?
No.
More money than sense, you.
You southerners, bloody hell.
How would you clean it? How would you clean a dog shit pound?
Wife's toothbrush.
James.
That was 2 stories, John. That was 2 stories.
Oh, it was. You know me, John and Ori, innit?
No story for you next week. Isn't it? I mean, you're not going to help you.
Dad. Right. James, how's your week been? What did you have for lunch? What are you vaping on? What are you drinking? what thing that's not alive and isn't a human or an animal, if you had one bullet in a gun, what would you shoot?
Okay. That's potentially a good question.
I just did
Thank you
to
very much, John.
the corpse of Margaret Thatcher. I thought that's just rubbish. So don't do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. That'd be a waste. She's already long gone.
Fucking
Okay, Dusty. Week's been all right. I'm not going to complain. It's point in complaining. People just think you're a complainer. You know what I mean? I am vaping on Lucas with... what's in there? Oh, I tell you what, I've been vaping all week. I'm on my second bottle now. Pistache. I'm pretty just had Nicky this evening, actually. I've done it again. I've run out of tobacco crunch, and I deliberately haven't ordered any because that's the only way I can vape other juices other than tobacco crunch is not to have tobacco crunch. Because I don't know. It's weird. I cannot stop vaping. I'll just put it in everything. If I'm honest with you, I really quite enjoy it. But I shouldn't. Probably you need to vary your taste. Yeah, not just that. I've had a couple of weeks where it's been fairly tasteless because I have just vaped that and that only. So I'm varying my vapes. So I've got. But having said that, I have just vaped pistache for the last week and a half. So I'm on my second bottle. That's really good. I like it a lot. I'd like it in 50-50. It gives us a bit of a dry mouth having larger, higher VG juices. I am vaping on. I've ripped a load of samples I got from here out of the cupboard, John. So I've got Dem 2, which I've just put in.
That's not Dem 2. It's this one funnel cake.
No, that's not what it says. It says Dem 2 in
oh, it's just faded. Yeah. It's
yeah, because they're old. I've had them ages, John. You sent us them when they first came out.
Yeah, cool.
Well, because Dem 2, they were fed through. When you didn't get Dem 2 first, you got Not or whatever, and then this one, and then
fuck yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, I've just put Dem 2 in there. I've done them 2 black boxes that I've never even tried.
Oh, cool.
Oh, they're nice. They're good.
Pearls and the other one.
Pearls and the funny twisty cake thing.
Yeah, pearls and white gold.
Oh, white gold is you'll like that probably. It's butterscotch. You see, that's the only one I don't really do.
So they're ready to go. Well, no, they're not ready to go yet. I'm going to leave them for a little while longer. But that's what I'm vaping tonight. And I've also got me shadow with a thing on the top. You know, do we have to talk about vaping?
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon that's what it's about.
I think people get sick of it. I think people get sick of vaping.
Not me.
Just sick of hearing us talk about it. They'd rather we talk about politics.
Yeah. Oh no, not politics.
Just beer and food. We can just do
you see, the group is mainly non-vaping related things. Maybe we should tailor the show to because the group seems quite
the other day. Yeah, it's about 80% vaping. It is about 80%.
You reckon?
Yeah, it is. Between all the rest of it, it is about 80% vaping.
Between all the rest, if we ignore all of the non-vaping stuff, it's about 80% vaping. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm vaping on them things. You know, it's the same things. It's the same things, isn't it? I'm drinking a Carlsberg, but I'm just about to crack open a Rick and Morty backer. Rick and Morty backer crew in the house.
Have you saved the date, James?
Oh, for Rick and Morty. 10th of November, is it?
10th of November.
Have you just got
Is it going to be on Netflix?
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah, I think it's straight release.
Normally it is, yeah.
It'll be on one of them box things, them box malarkeys.
I'm definitely not going to go to work on the following Monday.
Cool. That's going to have a nice Rick and Morty. I don't know. Let's not talk about that during my bit. Let's talk about that later.
Sorry, darling.
So I'm vaping on them things. I'm drinking on them things. I had a sandwich for my lunch. I had chicken sandwich. It was a chicken sandwich. Oh, I had chicken for my tea. I've had a lot of chicken today. I'm a heavily protein based day today, which is good. And if I could shoot something that's not a person or a thing.
No, it's a thing. It's just not an animal or a person.
It's not an animal or a thing or a person.
That's a lot more. That makes a lot more sense now. So.
Yeah. So an inanimate object, for instance.
Oh, you're all right,
Yeah. Yeah, I'd shoot one of them then. Yep.
Shout out to Dick.
Okay, so how's your week been? What are you vaping on? What are you drinking on? What did you have for your lunch? If you had a lunch. I know you eat peculiar times, Brad. So what did you have during the day that you ate? That was food, non-drink related.
Cool.
Thing in your mouth.
Something that I chewed on.
Yeah, and what is your favorite form of transport?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's random enough. I like that.
Cool.
Week's been pretty good. Can't lie. Survived, which is always nice. I am drinking on neck oil from Beavertown.
Oh yeah, Rick likes that.
Yeah,
It's fucking yummy. It's been my go-to now for quite a while, actually.
Trouble is it just positive reinforcement?
What, me talking to myself about how much I like drinking?
Just, I don't know. You say you like it, so you like it. But really,
I think that could
taste like a whole.
Coca-Cola tastes better than beer, but we just do it anyway.
That very well might be the case, but we live and we learn.
Yeah, no, fair play. I think it's nice.
Urine tastes better than Carling Black Label. But look at Richard. He's a trooper.
I think it's nice. I think Neckar's nice. It's nice.
Neckar's nicer than the shit you're drinking.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I am vaping on a little present that I got from not one, but two Johns. Because I got it from EVL John via where the fuck are you?
Little John.
You put
That John.
We don't know what actual John looks like. John EVL John. Oh, congratulations on getting married, John. You got married last week.
Oh, congratulations.
That narrows it down.
Okay.
All we need to do now is check all the local papers.
Yeah. I'll look for a man.
I send my condolences.
I'll look for a man who looks like he's made a massive mistake.
Yeah. Regretful looking man. Look for a regretful looking man in a suit. Called John.
In England.
With a crutch, because he's had a crutch to it.
Yeah, one-legged regretful.
He's got a crutch now.
Man.
Yeah. And a ball and chain.
Yes, but you got an EVL twin from John at EVL.
Did get an EVL twin, which is on here now. I know, doesn't look apart.
Can we not just say evil, because EDL, EVL, they sound.
Evil, yeah, fine.
Yeah, evil. My evil tank.
Evil twin.
I have been running it on my little 18350, but the battery died just before.
John included a 0.7 coil, and I put a spare one in. That was why there was a little bit of tape at the top, because I was like trying to squeeze a spare one.
Oh, I didn't even notice the tape. I just ripped and got in them.
Yeah, I'm like that. I don't
noticed something cool about the coils though, because they're both 0.7, but they're different. Because there's a little plug thing at the bottom of the coil.
Yeah.
That has the airflow through it.
Yeah. No.
And one of them had a larger diameter airflow than the other in the coil.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
Which I thought was quite interesting. Because like this is the smaller one, and it is noticeably more mouth to lung than.
Oh, okay. But the 0.7s. I mean, you can change with the EVL. You can obviously change the airflow. So.
Yeah, but like you can change that airflow, and then the coil makes it more or less restrictive as well, which I quite enjoy.
John uses the 0.7s with those tanks, and it's the best coil they ever made.
I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
And in there is cactus. I don't know which cactus, but a cactus. Jackie, that's the one. Yeah. You know, because I always get it from you. And I still have my little Lost Vape doodad. And
that's why Chris Bishop just answered it. There's a reducer pin in the coil that you got from him,
Ah,
so you can swap it.
cool. Okay, I like
Thanks,
that.
Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. And there is my plain randomness concoction. What the fuck was next? Week, beer,
Eat.
vape.
Lunch.
Eat. Lunch. I had a lunch out of somewhere between John's book and Richard's book today.
Mine isn't a book; it's a bin, isn't it? I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah, you eat out of a skip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a sweet potato and about 2 spoonfuls of corn.
Like sweet
Corn.
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 Sweet corn.
Well, sweet corn's in a tin. Corn is corn.
What the fuck? What are you on about? You had
What the
grains.
fuck's corn, son?
Yeah.
You had what? Grains of... Wait, no. Like from an ear of corn.
Yeah.
Do you mean the yellow shit? It's like talking to someone on another planet.
I don't know what the fuck you call it. Corn. It's on
On
a
the
cob.
cob. Corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet corn, you fuckwit.
No, it's not.
That
That's
is
corn.
what it is.
Was
That's
it
what it's called.
yellow? Was it yellow?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
nutter. You are
Sweet
not right.
corn.
You are not right, pal.
We're all laughing
Sweet
at my
corn
dog sticking stuff, like eating things.
Comes in a tin.
Your brat doesn't even know what
And
corn
it's creamy.
Creamed corn. That's still
That's
sweet corn, but creamed corn is still sweet corn, but it's different. But it's the same, but it's different.
Yeah, well, we called that sweet corn. Corn
that's
that
not-
comes on a cob is just fucking corn.
No, it's sweet.
That's corn on the cob.
corn on the
America,
cob or sweet.
Anyone in America, please back me up. That's fucking corn. Shit in a tin is sweet corn.
Okay, so what do they
Tastes
make?
the same though, doesn't it?
What do
Yeah,
they make
it tastes
cornbread?
exactly the same.
What-
Because it's the same. It's because it's the same.
They
It
make
is the-
cornbread out of corn.
Yeah, no, not corn. It's made of grain.
No, I've made cornbread. You pour fucking corn in the dough and then it's corn.
And it's like talking to the dog.
Here's
gonna
a
have
question:
to-
Why
Are you
don't
shitting me? Is
you know-
cornbread not made from corn?
Yeah, but not sweet corn.
I've got a corn related question. It's not really corn related, but it's this kind of corn related. You get sweet corn in a tin, and they take the corn off to make it easier for you to eat and that sort of thing, and for it to be prepared. Why don't they do the same with pomegranates?
Yeah, they do in Tesco. It's like a $5.
Yeah, exactly. The man hours, the labour.
They've
Sweet
been
corn
Perhaps
is a
it's not
hybrid thing.
automatable.
Yeah, probably not.
Because that pith is bitter, isn't it? Bitter pith.
Yeah. What about? Here's a question. Another question. Pomegranate related. Do you do one at a time, or do you take it all to bits and put it in a bowl and then roll?
Never eat them ever.
Never.
In
I
a
don't.
bowl.
I don't. I'm not. I just don't.
What do you do? You do it with a bowl and just go, ah.
I just spoon it.
Yeah, I do.
Straight out the
I go
pot.
for the big reward at the end. And one at a time. That's all
I
good.
spend all the time getting it out. I'll be honest, my mum eats them with a pin. I'm being totally serious.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? That's really a
One at a
thing.
time, yeah.
No wonder you sound so fucking posh.
My mum's from Wigan. There's now posh about Wigan.
Anyway, sweet corn and pomegranates aside, that was my lunch. It was a sweet potato and
Some
some
sweet corn.
I'm checking stuff to make sure to find out what the fuck.
There's no planet where that is not sweet corn.
Okay, it's kind of difficult. All right, cornbread is called that because it's cornmeal, which is made of maize, which is
just dried corn, sweet corn.
Maize is just corn, though.
it is corn. Yeah, I do agree.
But then maize
Ground
is sweet corn that's just been dried and
No,
ground
it's maize now. It's like if you
up. See, but maize and sweet corn are the same thing.
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Oh, I like difficult questions. Anyway, move on. Favorite transport?
Oh, we're on 25 minutes past. Yeah.
Walking. Fuck.
Yes, mate.
I live in
100%.
London. Like, it's quicker than fucking driving. Half the time, it's quicker than the bus. And I don't have to be that close to people on the fucking underground with
Yeah.
people fucking sardining around me. You know?
100% correct.
Walking. Richard, darling, how's your week been? What are you drinking? because we know it's crap. What are you vaping?
Charlie, Black Label.
What did you have for brunchy, breakfasty lunch? And I got a special question for you, and it's designed to make you think. Is cereal soup?
No. There you go. Save you some time at the end.
Okay. I got a better one than that. If you put pasta in a soup, is it still a soup?
Yeah, because minestrone's got pasta in it, dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a soup anymore.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
an oblong.
It's
What?
It's an oblong.
No, oblong is how you describe someone with a long dick. But
What the fuck?
Charlie Black Label.
Fuck,
Top side.
hell.
This is new. This is the Nunchaku 2 off of UL. And still the MPV5, which is splendid and tremendous. Week's been fine. For lunch, I had a jacket potato with cheese, and a cereal. I don't think you can start scrutinising naming conventions for food types.
it's just
Because
a bowl
cereal,
of
anything
liquid with shit in
anything
it.
from the cereal family that you just smother in milk in a bowl at breakfast time is therefore cereal, isn't it?
It's warm and watery and full of bits. That's how
It's
I would
warm.
describe
It's what-
soup.
It's not warm,
Oh, I
is
thought
it?
you were talking about. Thought you were doing sex then. Soup. Got it.
It's not. It's not warm. But you can have cold soup, but that's irrelevant. It's just not soup.
It's not soup. I haven't got over the oblong thing yet. I don't know what's going on.
I think we need to introduce White Van Brad.
Yeah, definitely. Just get Brad to read any old bollocks and then go back to it. Yeah. That'd be nice.
Okay, so let's slide into the news.
Slide into watery bits.
The news. First of all, it's the title of the show. I think we should cover it.
Oh, go for it.
Straight off the bat. Let's just dedicate 15 minutes to this before we get into
Go. Okay.
more exciting vape products and all that sort of good stuff that we like to do.
What's the show called?
Yeah, exactly. It's called Vaping, the Vaping Conspiracy, or something along those lines. Yeah, the narrative doing the rounds amongst advocates, influencers, social media, etc., is sort of officially now that it's all about the money. It's they're worried about tobacco tax revenue dropping. They're worried about the master settlement agreement. We're talking about the American vape ban. But is it, are they panicking about the loss of income? And so they've taken these steps to stop that loss of income, or is it about public health, just misguided? Is it a misguided understanding of public health concern? You know, is it a very dark, seedy conspiracy that we'll talk about for decades to come? And it's all about money, or is it actually just very misinformed, ignorant people?
I don't think it's
who
about...
are getting bantered in the ear by all the tobacco lobbyists.
I don't think it's about these tobacco bonds, though. I don't. I keep seeing it posted up, and I know it would be. I don't think people understand what the refill market's worth. The pods, for people, fuckheads like Juul and fuckheads like Vape and fuckheads like Blue. I'm just trying to make sure they're all covered. The refill market's worth such a huge amount to them. They're making a profit that they've never seen before. The bond isn't even worth anything like what the refill market's worth. It's not even close. They'll make way more. They could just fuck it off, the tobacco bonds. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just need the market. And they need the market cleared off. And the way to do that seems to be the flavour ban, which was predicted 3 years ago.
I think that's one thing massively beneficial of the flavour ban, that they've chosen to ban the flavours, and the biggest winner from that is probably tobacco companies,
Definitely.
but also tobacco companies with closed pod vape systems, or just closed vape systems, or very limited vape systems. Juul's biggest selling flavour is tobacco. Vipe's biggest selling flavour is tobacco.
Yeah.
Blue's biggest selling flavour
And
is
their
tobacco.
second biggest
So,
flavour is mint. Menthol, not mint. Can't use hot
yes, well, some states have banned menthol.
I thought they hadn't. I thought they banned mint.
No, 3 of them have.
Oh, okay. But I think that's where it gets lost in translation. I think
So three of the major sit-down discussions about the flavour ban, because they added menthol, have actually had more advocates for menthol smoking than vaping advocates at the meets.
Amazing.
Simply because they've been, oh God, how do you? Basically, they've been paid to attend by other people to campaign to not have menthol cigarettes or cigars removed.
Yeah, there's quite a few conspiracies making the rounds. That obviously the tobacco bonds being one, and the other conspiracy I saw the other day, which is too far of a stretch, which is, has somebody created a bacteria that they've added to liquid to cause this lung disease?
Jesus, if they have, it's not very effective.
No, they haven't. It's this vitamin E in it's weed. That's what it is.
What do you think, James? Do you think it's all about the money?
It does play really easily to if you want to. I mean, John's already went. Oh, the whole tobacco bonds thing isn't a real thing. However,
I think it's a real thing. I just don't. I think it pays more to do it the other way. Yeah. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know how much. I presume you're talking about taxable income that they can then that would then cover that.
They pay a bond. The tobacco company pays a bond to this. Sorry, they bought. What it is, they borrowed money from tobacco company.
Yeah, I mean, what I've read is that lots of people have kind of spent that money and that they're already in mass amount. Because I know you've got places like Detroit where they're in vast amounts of debt, and there's I honestly don't know. Conspiracy wise, I've also heard the dank vapes thing that they have been introduced by the government to do that. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. I think it is financial based at the end of the day. It doesn't make any sense to me that it's health, and that's the reason they've done it. It's a good
chat. I put it out in chat, and John Malcolm, very smart chap, very studious chap, has put. Absolutely. It's not really a conspiracy. They are just taking advantage of a situation that's arisen, caused by greed plus stupidity. Now, this is kind of why I'm raising it. Really, I don't give them that much credit. All these governors, all these senators, I don't give them as much credit. I don't give them that much credit as to see this opportunity and jump on a ban. I just think they're heavily influenced by who says what to them. Yeah. And they're massively influenced by all the lobbyists throwing money at them. Money, it's all about, everything's in the whole world about money, especially in America. It's a completely capitalist society. But I don't think that they're worried about the bonds as such. I don't think they're worried about tax revenue as such. Surely they get back in VAT almost what the vapors are obscene spenders.
Obscene. Yeah, because the average is really a lot higher than most big figures.
Or whatever they're called out in America. But I don't give them that much credit as to see the opportunity and jump on it. I just feel like they're misinformed, they're ignorant. They see the headline of Save the Kids, they think it's a great thing to jump on, plus potential final. They obviously they are aware of the massive revenue stream that is tax, But I just feel like the lobbyists just get in their ear, misinform them, and they jump on something like this. I don't think they're like worried about their state debt when they're making these decisions.
No, I agree, and I also think that it's such a different market with the US and the UK. There was two different methods employed in the US and in the UK. The method in the US seems to have been this flavour ban, which they know they can't lobby at the people in the same way. You can't influence people with money like that. And so over here, the tobacco companies tried to do it with free stock wholesale. Give it to shops. And I make no mistake, Blue and Vipe and Juul are making nothing like the inroad they thought they were going to make, because British people are more belligerent than any other people in the world. As soon as you tell them to do something, they will definitely do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a weird social experiment which people do it. And
I don't want to get into a massive back and forth with each other. Andy D says, Rich, no, the sin tax percentage on smoking is far greater than the percent tax VAT for the UK incoming government. Yes, it is, but a smock vape kit is 50 quid. One packet of fags is a tenner. And you do see a lot of vapers buying a lot of stuff. They reckon that they've sold nearly 1 million. What was the Phil and Dimitri tank? Anakin have sold nearly 100 of Clearomizer recently that came out this year.
100 million.
Sorry, 1 million. Sorry, 1 million. Nearly 1 million units sold of one of the Clearomizers they brought out this year. I mean, so that is all generating income, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I completely appreciate that syntax is absolutely massive. I do get that, but not to the extent that our government's hitting the panic button, though.
If you take if we take out the mistake and say that teen vaping is a dominant force in the market, where it isn't. Actually, the dominant force in the market in the UK is probably 30 to 45, which if you were a pub and you could nail the 30 to 45 market in the town centre, you would be richer than anybody else, because it's a different type of it's a real disposable income. You're actually attracting people who've got money to spend. It's a very, very attractive market.
It's do you know I always knew that there would be a big moment in vaping that would cause this kind of thing. I didn't know how quickly it'd happen and how many states would jump on it and all that stuff, but I always felt it'd be the battery thing. I always thought they would declare, because of all it takes was one mod to explode on one plane and cause a plane to have a big problem, or a plane crash, or divert a plane, or I always thought they would completely rule out like high drain, batteries, high amp batteries, and that's really, therefore forcing people down AIOs. And
that's certainly a difficult thing to do in the UK. It'd be nearly impossible.
No, in America though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we would struggle to, as a vaping community. It's so easy to, although no one's listening as such, but it's so easy to defend not having a flavour ban. It's so easy to explain how it's unfair to have a flavour ban, but it would be very hard for us to defend battery explosions.
Yeah. It's very complicated to explain to someone who doesn't vape.
I mean, there is other. There's lots of hydrogen products out there that use the same batteries as us, and look at phones and that sort of thing. But we have had another battery this week where the manufacturer has insisted that it's not to be sold for vaping, and I can't remember. I can't remember. It's a Samsung, isn't it? Yeah.
Samsung and Sony are very paranoid about it.
Yeah, I mean, Sony did it ages ago, didn't it? That was maybe a year or so ago when they
not to be used in vaping products.
But the way we get around it is by saying this is not to be used in vaping products, but you can still buy it, and that's a nice easy.
But it fits, doesn't it? Fits perfect. But it does.
Yeah, but it's also suitable for many other applications. Yeah.
But that's part of what I was saying. Exactly, though. There's this real It's nothing to do with vaping at all. About Britain, it's a belligerence that is inherent in Britain. As soon as you say, I remember when they were talking about about a battery ban, and every vendor went, "Yeah, fair enough. I'll throw in a free torch." Like, if you bought a battery, you got a free torch. And
but the truth is, John, I've never had a mod get hot from a battery. Yet you play half an hour's worth of a game on your phone, and your phone is pretty warm there. You know, it's far more taxing than vape. Well, certainly the way I vape, it's far more taxing than.
Well, they're far more. But you're quite right there. But a lipo pack is far more unstable than a cylindrical battery, than a cell. You know, it's just it. We know that.
To extend on what Richard was saying about the money side and your comparison to smoke, there's 36 million daily smokers in the US. At a slow rate, you assume they buy one pack a week. That works out to $1 billion revenue for the government a month.
Yeah, it's more likely to be a pack a day, isn't it?
Yeah,
more likely, but on the pessimistic side, we'll go, it's $1 billion a month in revenue stream. Through vaping, using Smok as an example, even if they bought a brand new Smok every single month, it would only bring in sales tax about $180 million.
Is that if everyone was a vapor, or if amount of vapors?
If current amount of vapors bought a new Smok every month, their revenue would be about 180 million.
But as soon as you take it, well, okay, let's take it down to pods, and we talk about one pod a day.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
With a $3 price for the one pod, but they're making $2.97 on the pod. I mean, shit. Somebody said, I don't know whether to call it that. We'll call it cabbage. Cabbage has been a gift for the anti-vaping nutters. It's totally true. Cabbage pods.
100% agree.
Yeah, that's really helped. It always was going to muddy the water. It always was.
We screamed all the time, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, who would use cabbage when you haven't got our national health system? I have no idea why you do that.
So what was the deal with that company that you mentioned before? I remember you mentioned it in the week, but I was on the hop. So a company got caught distributing THC.
Okay, yeah, we'll call it that. This is really scary. And it's quite interesting actually. If you're in chat or you're watching this, you need to double check when you go. If you go and watch the famous video, the video that came out this week, where the guy was interviewed on a national news network, and he talked about the fact he'd never vaped nicotine and only ever vaped THC, and he ended up in hospital with respiratory problems that was identified as pneumonia, and they cut all the references to the fact he'd never vaped nicotine and just left it in. And then he had an interview with a vape channel where he said, I've never vaped nicotine. But listen to where he got the cartridges from, because that's really important. He bought those cartridges from a dispensary. He bought those cartridges from a shop with a license to sell THC. So that now the THC isn't these cartridges, which everyone calling a black market and being bought, by a bloke out of a bloke's pocket in an alleyway. They're not. Some of them are being bought from dispensaries, and this now makes so much more sense how it got nationwide, because the two guys who've been arrested for dank vapes, those cartridges were being bought by dispensaries, so they were making fat cash from selling illegitimate pods to customers. And that's how fast, because it was literally being distributed by somebody. So they you've got distributors and you've got retailers, and it's actually in shops. So
the nationwide. The reason it was a nationwide issue is it was very well distributed because it had a professional distribution channel.
It had to have.
It wasn't some stoner in the back of a car boot, was it?
No, and that's not been mentioned at all. Every time I've read these things, it's not been mentioned at all. But he says the word dispensary, which means it had. That means it's got a license to dispense.
The issue is that the dispensaries are being run by what used to be essentially drug dealers. A lot of them have just legitimized people who sold before. And I know when you talk about THC, drug dealer sounds a little bit harsh, but that's the truth of the matter. These people aren't chemists, so they're finding a way to make a vapable version of THC, I suspect half of them are looking on YouTube to do this sort of thing. They're not. Like I say, these people are not experts in what's with vaping. We stick to a fairly set regime: PG, VG, nicotine from a certain source, and food-based flavorings that don't have oils in them. And that's a fundamental that we've known for as long as people have been making their own juice.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when we were using citrus, but when we were talking about early DIY, and it began from the beginning. Someone would say, "Oh, I've got this lemon oil. No, don't touch it. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a really fucking bad idea." It was self-police. Nobody did it. "Oh, I've got this really nice vanilla. If you just go and get Madagascar vanilla from Sainsbury's." "No, can't do that. That's not how it works. Don't do that, for fuck's sake." Literally no problem. People just
and I don't think these people have got that. So they found something which would thin the because I presume what they use is shatter.
That what it is, it seems to be that it's used to make it appear thicker, so it looks purer. When you look for viscosity in it, if you're trying to check for VG/PG in a mix, if you're looking, somebody says, "Oh, it's 50/50," and you looked at it and you went, "Nah, it's not." That's the purity check for THC in a vape, is to look how thick or thin it is, and they're thickening it with this. It's vitamin E diluting, but it's actually essentially it's an oil that's made.
So what happened to vegetable glycerin? Why is vegetable glycerin? I don't understand why that isn't in the mix there. Why that? I don't
know. I don't know why this.
It's attracted an audience that doesn't have the experience, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is always, again, it goes back to. I'll cover it more later, but there is this protection. There is a reason within the people who've been vaping some time, and when it was this burgeoning industry, that we protected it by policing it ourselves, essentially. As soon as you saw somebody doing something that was incorrect, you went, no, don't do it like that. But the reason you did it was to protect yourself and them. So you went, don't do it like that, because that's going to be a problem for everybody. So you do it like this instead.
Yeah, I just think it's this. I just don't like this idea that it's a big conspiracy. All the states have got together, come up with this plan. As soon as there's any kind of outbreak, you're going to say this, we're going to jump on that, you're going to, I don't, just to save in, the bonds and the revenue stream. I just don't buy that they're that sophisticated in any way from what I've seen. That's my original premise.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was well worth having them do.
I agree. I mean, they could be. I mean, I do remember in the House, a guy stood up, didn't he? And he said, "Are we in danger of losing our golden goose?" Mm-hmm. And everyone in the House knew what he meant by that. Tobacco has been a financial golden goose for America for a long time, but I don't think they're. I just think they're so influenced by their people that influence them. I just think, and the powers that be, beyond the visible powers that be, they want this thing handicapped. So
yeah, at the very least, they're succeeding. Currently, they're succeeding.
But do we all agree that it is financially based rather than think of the children health based?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I think Save the Children sounds good, doesn't it? But everything's money based. In the American political system is money based. You're legally entitled to pay for an American politician's opinion.
Absolutely. Right, I'm going to run on from that. It's on. It's okay. It's good. It's a linky.
Slide straight into the news.
Sliding straight into the news. Going to go with a link straight from Reuters. This is just quite interesting, really, because I'll tell you the news piece, and then I'll tell you the opinions I've seen. Alibaba to stop sales of e-cigarette components in the United States. Chinese e-commerce firm Alibaba said on Wednesday it will stop selling e-cigarette components in the United States amid growing regulatory scrutiny and reports of lung disease and some deaths linked to vaping. The move follows announcements by Kroger Co. and Walgreens Boots Alliance Incorporated this week that they would stop selling e-cigarettes in their stores, in line with a similar decision by Walmart. Alibaba said it already had a long-standing policy in place to not sell complete e-cigarette products in the United States. The funny thing about this is in the atmosphere, in the sort of current political climate, I've seen people kind of go a bit American saying, "Oh, it gives a shit. A load of clone bollocks that no one cares about." You don't know what people are buying from Alibaba at all, because a lot of people buy their just to count myself out of this, just quickly, just through the company. We don't buy anything from Alibaba, but people do, and they especially buy glass bottles, plastic bottles, drip tips, vape bands, spare tanks, atomizers themselves, not clone atomizers, atomizers, smart, blah 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 blah. Some of them again. So they're kicking the legs away from some companies, because if they've got to go from Alibaba to a distro, from a distro to a retailer, from a retailer to you, that's all. So everyone's got to have a bit of bite of that cherry, and the cherry gets very, very small by the end.
I tell you what, as well. Go on. Not only that, Alibaba has 3 other trading styles, and a lot of vape shops use what they don't know is Alibaba as a distro. They think it's a random Chinese distro. It's actually them, just with another trading style. So the impact will be bigger than people think.
Absolutely. And I was just watching people almost laugh it off. Oh yeah, I don't use anything from them anyway. You might well do, but you don't know. You've no idea. You need to both. Yeah, this won't cause any problems. Just thinking in my head. Rick and I do a very similar thing when it comes to plastics and metals, from Rick's point of view as well, where we use an agent in China and then a manufacturer, and that's quite if you're established, it's how you can. That's a way of work. That's the way of doing it. The more
it's also how you can control the standards that you
absolutely. Because it's all right. It's just being careful with stuff. So you don't pay somebody. You lock the money, gets locked until you've got what you asked for.
Yeah.
And then you release the funds, or nobody gets paid, and then it all becomes a.
I only found out when we started selling the saver how it sort of worked, really, because our intention, my intention, was to keep it out of GearBest, Heaven's Gifts, Fast Tech. It was to help the vendors around the world. The idea was to keep it off those cheaper sites initially, but certainly in the medium term. And we thought we were being really successful at that, but one of the small Chinese distros bought it, and we didn't realise it's one of the many distros owned by GearBest. And that's when the saver suddenly appeared on GearBest. And that's when it was explained to me by Coil Art at the time, how it works. There's only actually 3 major distros in China, and everything else is kind of a tax haven / trading style / monopoly type thing.
Yeah. And Alibaba, I think they're only second to in the US I think they're second to somebody incredible like Amazon or something like that when it comes to sales. Yeah. They're fucking massive.
There's nothing they don't sell, is there?
No. It's absolutely incredible. Oh, they drop ship every load of bullshit as well. But I thought it was quite interesting. What was made it more interesting is how dismissive people were of the news. James, SVA?
Dead quick one. This was from a fortnight ago when I first put this up because we weren't here last week. I've just got some pictures to show you of a bonny looking mod from SVA. They've got a new one out there. It's not a squonker. It's a regular old job. It's a Portofino from SVA. I've got very little information on this. They're out now, but I haven't got it yet. I just thought it was it's not something I would particularly buy, but I quite like the fact that it's a two-piece system, and you can kind of interchange the tube. I know that's not a brand new idea.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the way back to the what was it called? The American one, the DNA 30 made by the chap with the beard.
Zen.
DNA.
Then the DNA Zen. Yeah, there's the Zen Zenania instead of Xenia. Yeah,
I think that's stunning.
Yeah,
I think it's stunning. This.
It's got some. I'm a big fan of it. You know, I like Italian gear in general. And I think it's got some great lines. I think it's a really sexy looking fella, and yeah, I like I think the interchangeable mech style tubes are great, absolutely great. That was it. I haven't got a lot of information on that. I didn't even bother getting a price. I just thought I'd show you the sexy pictures and we'll move on to something else because we're.
I think it's really nice looking.
I think we go.
I love all the different tubes as well.
Yeah.
I think we go to Brad with a twit twat.
Twat. Yes. I trolled the fucking internet again to find news that had fuck all to do with the word ban or death. And eventually I stumbled across something on Twitter, funnily enough. If I fucked off out of focus, there I am. And it does tie in nicely to the conspiracy theory side as well. Wired.co.uk has reported on there's a suspicious pro-vaping campaign targeting Donald Trump on Twitter. The total numbers, and it's not by a particular account, it's a campaign being shared by vapors. Well,
I've seen it.
Vapors. And it's everyone sharing this hashtag, we vape, we vote. And the total number of mentions so far is 52,166. So it's an effective campaign when
that's a pretty bad figure. I mean, for a nation and population the size of the US.
Yeah, for a nation and a population, but for Twitter users, I think a lot less people actively use Twitter than
it's enough to be trending.
Yeah, it's enough to be trending, and it's enough to completely fuck with your use of Twitter as well. When you open up your Twitter and there's 52,000 notifications targeting you. Who else do they say targeted here? Donald Trump, Donald Trump's campaign manager, Brad Pascal. And you can't trust him because his name's Brad. They have taken it right to the edge of what's sociably acceptable. I will leave our viewers to go and fucking find this for themselves. They can see, when they see the picture that's being shared along with it, they can decide for themselves. I'm not fucking talking about that because that's yet another conspiracy theory that would devolve this show, and we certainly would not finish on time if we got into that. But I thought it was very interesting that there is pushback. We spoke last week about would they or wouldn't they impose a countrywide ban right now with there being elections next year.
He's got, because you're trumping it up a bit at the moment, there's been two quite weird things happened this week. I can't say her name. I always call her Melanie because I don't care. The weird swamp donkey he's married to, where they look like they've hammered her face out with a
Melania.
Oh, is it Milani?
Whatever the fucking name. She this week met children and spoke to them about the impacts of teen vaping. And then weirdly, Trump seemed to be talking about small business entrepreneurs yesterday. So I don't know. I thought we were sniffing at a possible nationwide flavour ban, but Richard, in a private chat we were all having, I don't think there will be.
I think they're hesitant to go that route because they know it would be detrimental to the campaign next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, I think that's a thing, isn't it? I'll be very surprised if he passes any policies directly this year or for the rest of his is in his first term. To be honest, that's just not the way they seem to do it. They seem to just try and not offend anyone for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
get re-election, and then you've got 6 months of them doing whatever they want.
He's got I was going to say he's got a difficult job, but at the moment, just to be slightly political for a second, he hasn't, because the Democrats have yet to actually field a candidate who's got any hope in fuck of winning. So it's time to actually.
He's been nailed on a second term for about 3 years.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be a massive shift in American politics for him to not get re-elected.
Ridiculous if he gets re-elected. I would just absolutely nuts. James, the Orion Plus, sir.
Okay, yeah. Some people are asking in chat, or somebody's asking in chat, Portofino is €199, which is not a bad price for a SVA. People are asking there, who are not in chat but are watching the audio visual version of this. This is the Orion Plus. I don't know how new this is, whether this is brand spanking or not. I've only seen it in the last week or so. This is a new version of the Orion. We've looked at a few different. We're hoping to see the Crux RBA for the Orion. We've asked for essentially this, I suppose. I mean, not quite, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it's the Orion Plus. It's still the Orion essentially. That looks very similar. We should have a picture there, hopefully,
on screen.
Rich, beautiful. But now it's a little bit different. We've now got 5. Previously we had 3 vaping modes, 3 power modes. We've now got 5 power modes. And we've now got, more important, I think, than that, is changeable coils. You don't have to actually change the entire pod system. It's still not an RBA. I'd still like to see an RBA for this. However, you can just change the coils rather than the full pod system. Tons of new colours. I mean, I was a big fan of the stainless and carbon fibre one before. A lot more kind of garish now, I suppose. I've got a list of colours available. It's still got the 950 milliamp battery in there. But you're going to get a gold starboard, a silver starboard, blue starboard, black starboard, gold carbon fibre, blue carbon fibre, silver carbon fibre, black carbon fibre, purple carbon fibre, gold and gold abalone, blue ocean scallop, black ocean scallop, purple ocean scallop, and purple phoenix. There's all sorts of colours available now.
And do you say it's still the DNA Go board?
It is still the DNA Go. It's still
now I'm interested finally, because I don't have to throw the ball.
But you can now change the colour. I just thought it was a nice little update to what we've previously mentioned before that. Like I say, loads of different colours. I suppose they'll probably be quite popular in them colours. I like the stainless steel and the carbon personally, but they might suit some people.
Do you reckon they might have them at Expo?
They might have them.
Is it definitely the DNA Go?
Yep, still the Go board. Still the Go board. I think they've done a bit of an update, and there's now £5. You know, you can change all sorts of bits and bobs.
Because they did an Orion without the Go board, didn't they? They did a Mac one.
That was the X or the Q.
This is the third iteration of the Orion. So there's the original Orion, the Q, which was without the DNA Go. This is the Orion Plus. Still got the Go board in there, extra vaping modes, and now you've got the changeable coil system. That's that there.
Well, just quickly, Matt Waits has said you can upgrade the old Orion to use the Plus pods.
Yeah, I think they are compatible. Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool. That is cool.
Okay.
What we can? Is it me? Or was it you?
Sure. Sensible bit.
This is quite good. Yeah, it's quite a sensible bit. It just rounds up somebody. Who did it? I can't remember who did it. Let's just check. it was iNews, I don't know who they are, but they compacted and did a little news article, which it wasn't all positive, but it was fine. Let me just accept the cookies. Love cookies. Who doesn't? Delicious. So the title of the piece was Vaping Deaths. What we know about the lung illness scientists think is caused by e-cigarettes. But we're going to just go to the end. And there's lots of sub bits. Are UK vapers at risk? I was going to go. Sorry, just trying to. They like to just keep doing pop-ups across news bullshit constantly. This is our UK vapers at risk. While the stories coming from across the Atlantic have naturally provoked a lot of concern among UK vapers, the same risks do not apply here. E-cigarette products in the UK are heavily regulated by the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, and there have been no known cases of lung injury caused by vaping. This is quite a famous case, this next one I'm going to say. British factory worker Terry Miller, who died 9 years ago after developing lipoid pneumonia, was originally said to have contracted the condition as a result of vaping. However, coroners were unable to firmly establish this as a contributing factor. The link between vaping and lipoid pneumonia is disputed by the likes of Anne McNeill, Professor of Tobacco Addiction at King's College London. The case of lipoid pneumonia was allegedly caused by glycerin in the vape liquid the patient was inhaling, but glycerin is water soluble and an alcohol and is not a lipid, she said. So the glycerin is unlikely to cause lipoid pneumonia. I just thought that was I thought that was somebody who'd actually got it down and condensed it exactly. What it's not a lipid.
Yeah, sadly, those articles don't get traction.
No, not at all. Yeah, King's College professor. No, not mainly making any money from that. Just wants people to know that it's not chemically a lipid. Brad, positive news from Australia. If it's about Crocodile Dundee, I'm going to spunk.
It's not, but I can quickly find out when it comes out. I do know there is Crocodile Dundee 3 or 4 or 10, whichever is coming. Bye, Richard. Anyway, the chair of the Parliamentary Committee on Health, Aged Care and Sport, Trent Zimmerman, has been calling on the government to fully legalise vaping in Australia. As much as vaping is legal in Australia, vaping nicotine products currently isn't.
Only in West.
Yeah, but he's currently calling on. He's calling on them to decriminalise nicotine for the use of vaping, saying that they're currently the government is currently conducting a study, but it is framed to be completed in a decade. Yeah, and he's putting to them that they actually globally there has been enough studies done.
Do you think there's one mouse just in a room and he's going, "Come on, mate, fucking vape it. Put some more on there. Fucking
exactly.
What's you little mousy cunt."
So I just thought it was interesting that there is what is he? The Parliamentary Committee on Health is pushing to have nicotine removed from the Schedule 7 toxins, whatever, and to fully legalise vaping across the country. Potentially, it could mean a shift in the Australian market, and our Bogan friend will be able to get his nicotine again.
Yeah, it'd be. It's Australia's has got this really weird thing that lots of people don't realise. I speak to British people all the time, and I always thought we were quite good with geography and things like that. But lots of people don't realise that the Australian population is much smaller than the UK.
Oh, yeah, much. There's 22.5 million people in Australia.
Lots of people. If you stop people and ask them when they're talking about something, they get listened to on the world stage very, very often, and their population is incredibly small because their landmass is so fucking massive.
Yeah, bigger and being full of tiny people, I believe, just small Oompa Loompa type people, just little wee.
Such a weird thing.
There's
Apparently
more
good
cows
looking,
in
aren't
Australia than people.
Yes, so few Australian people. It'd be amazing to see, but they are very fucked up politically speaking.
There are
They're good
more
looking, though,
cows
aren't they,
in Australia
Australians?
than people.
Fucking good behind a bar. Oh, speaking of that,
They're
Bogans.
On
stupid.
both sides of the bar, actually.
Very stupid, but they're very good looking.
Bogan's coming over for Expo.
On the
Birmingham.
whole,
If you're going to Expo Birmingham, he's
there are
gonna...
some ugly, stupid ones.
James. I think they're
Not Bogan. He's both intelligent and good looking.
that's good. They're very rare.
But they're
That
thin on the
is-
ground. He's probably got English DNA.
Definitely criminal English DNA.
Okay.
Look at criminal.
Yes. Enough of that silliness. Okay. I have got this week. This week there has been this last 2 weeks there has been. I've seen two beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, stunning, and very, very sexy bits of wooden vape paraphernalia. And the first one is the U-Mods regular, which is, as you might remember the U-Mods people. This is Greg. This is the first regulated mod from U-Mods. It is a DNA 60. We should have some lovely pictures, Rich.
On screen now.
Beautiful. So this is the regular. This is a DNA 60 with a small screen and a USB port in there. It's a unibody. It's got no frame in there. It's an 18650. It's a 22 millimeter 510 adjustable 510. It comes with a matching drip tip. The one that you can see on screen there is number 1. Shown in the pictures, and it'll be shown at whichever show that they're at now, which I didn't write down, but we're going to show at a show somewhere. I might have just took that information out there. And the
Probably Expo return, no?
I have no idea. I've absolutely no idea. I took a lot of information out from the big bit of information I had to condense it down so it was all kind of bite-sized and friendly, and I took out some pertinent information there. I'm terribly sorry about that, but I can tell you the price. The price is €570. It's a little on the steep side, but
How much?
Previous year, €570, which is high end. It's high end money, but it's a beautiful looking bit of kit. I think it's a really sexy looking mod. You're paying for a good looking mod, and you're getting a really good looking mod. That is the regular from I think the pictures speak for themselves. It's €570. That's the regular. That's
it's quite old school. Look,
it is.
Very classic look,
It is, and I mean, the recessed cup that was quite fashionable in the high end a few years ago, and it still looks good. I love a nice short tripper in a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good look. I think it's a really good
I
look.
think it's good. I think it's a good looking mod.
It is a really good looking mod. It's a really, really good looking mod. Good board, a great board. The DNA 60 is a great board as well.
Yeah.
So
in fact, the shed. I think I'm right in saying the shed, the Facebook group, the shed, ran by Matt Todd. I believe they did a little poll. What would be your favourite board in a high-end mod or something like that?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the DNA 60 won by a landslide.
Yeah.
Someone in chat will correct me if I'm wrong, but I agree. I just think it's a classic, a modern day classic.
I don't think. I mean, the DNA 75C. It's a great idea in principle, but I don't think you don't need all of that information. You don't need a big color screen. What you want is a small, tidy board that isn't taking up a lot of real estate.
There's a time and a place, isn't there? And I think a classy mod needs small, smart. I think there's other mods that are nice to have a color screen and stuff, but a really sexy mod needs a very modest screen and board, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I pulled my next bit, so I might jump. I just want to say Johann's a prick, but that's nothing to do with anything. James, I'm going to swap my bit up and then you go TFIX.
Yeah, I dig it.
Oh, it was just a quick one, just a little bit of blah, right? Because sometimes it seems like sometimes when you're out in the social media world, and you get excited because you just saw something, and then you go to you see a news story, you follow the link, and then you pick that link up and you bang it on a group's page. And it might seem sometimes on the Ideal Home Show, prick like me will come along and say, don't put the link up. And I really just wanted to explain that really. The reason we don't put the link up, the reason I say don't put the link up is, and you should screenshot it, is because they're not writing it, even if it appears to be pro vaping. The media source you got that from don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's pro or against. They don't care. They just want people to keep looking at it. And if you look at the papers, you'll actually see the Guardian's done it this week at least. I think they've actually pulled it off twice. Where they've gone pro against pro, because they get double the amount of links and advertising payments, because they get picked up by two different sources, fuckwits and vapors, and fuckwits and vapors, and over again. Don't do it. Yeah. So social media. So I was watching a really great. If you're on the, I might bump it in a second. I might go on iOS on the Ideal Home Show page yesterday. Toby, who owns Nata, posted a link to a YouTube video which hasn't been viewed many times, but it's about somebody. It's a Canadian who's talking about the independent vape industry, and I actually think he nails it in the first 10 minutes about. Nothing to do with me, but how much work goes into the independent industry that people don't seem to understand. And it's there and it's laid out on video. And I think it's really, really great. I'll bump it in 2 seconds if you're on the page, but just give it a watch. Or, stick it on your watch later list. Don't post fucking links on Facebook pages.
I think we were talking about this at work actually, and I think more so than ever, it's very hard to tell how authentic a source is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these news websites now, and you've never heard of them before, and they're claiming all this stuff, and I think that's why you get websites like BBC, which their viewership just goes up and up and up. The BBC website is one of the biggest websites in the world now in terms of views, and I think it's just because it's a place people know that the intention of that site is honest, and they're trying to actually put the news out.
Yeah.
If it's a newspaper source, then really read the article and decide what's going on with it. But if it's a spurious looking or just unusual looking website, there's every chance that every word is bollocks.
Yeah. But
Facebook, your Facebook wall is full of it now.
Yeah, and if it's bullshit, but even whether it's bullshit or whether it's real, the other thing is a screenshot. You're already on the page. You're not going to give them any more affiliate pay if you screenshot it. So if you screenshot it and put it up and people go, load of shit, and you haven't done any damage, don't fucking do it, because people just pick up these links and dump them everywhere. James did have a look at the admin activity once and he went, John deleted. So I'm like, no, fuck off. I hate it. James, a quick look.
Okay, I've got. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got 3 things to show you quickly before we go.
Yeah.
Before we move on. Okay, first one is from at Mizzou. This is the vape snail and the dot shell. There's a couple of pictures of this. Really, really quickly. These are two. At Mizzou people. They did the vape shell. And this is kind of following on from the vape shell. These kind of vape shell based products, almost sort of thing. The vape snail. It's a pod style RTA for in a Barra style for the
billet.
For the billet box, but also for the bank. I don't want to say that word. The 50/50, the Delro, them sort of things as well. We've got a picture on screen, hopefully.
Yep.
The other thing is the dot shell, which is a similar sort of affair, again, with the vape shell sort of thing inside, and that is for the dot mod all-in-one. and they are from at Mizzou, and that's all I'm going to say. They are going to be previewed at Vape Expo in Paris, which is probably where the regular is going to be shown. Probably not in England. Probably in Expo in Paris, and that's that. Next one, I'm going to quickly blare through these. Is the second sexy looking mod that I saw this week. This is the TFX nipper, I think we're going to call it.
Get to it. I will say there is a cheeky bit of advertising here because Scott's got hands like shovels. It's fucking ludicrous.
I tell you what, I have got the specs. I can tell you exactly how big this is. Okay, so this is hopefully got some lovely pictures. I have a couple of models of this on screen. Beautiful. We should have. Let's have a little look. What we've got. We've got a maple burr with a matching button, and we should also have a horse chestnut version, which we're going to show you right now. This is an 18350 from TFX from Scott Bonner. It is. I'll tell you the size because it's very small. One of them has got a double A battery next to it. I know. John's just said he's got massive, giant man's hands. However, next to you can see that's a double A battery. This is a small mod. It's 52 millimeters by 43 millimeters by 27 millimeters. 52 high, essentially, 43 wide, with a width of 27 there. You're looking at a maple burr or a horse chestnut, the other two that you're looking at. It's copper resin switch housing. I'm trying to run through this. Click fet. It's a click fet. It's got 24 millimeter catch cup. It's got the Modern Maker 510 in there and a MyTech switch. I
will say, I'm only joking. It is absolutely tiny. It was just a joke that Scott's hands like twice the size of mine. That was
He's got big hands. He's a big hand man. That's
very rarely getting to masturbate me.
And oh, John,
he doesn't own a spade. It's got no use for one.
Okay, last one is the new pattern just been released from Hellfire on the Titan. This is the Enigma. We've shown you a couple of other lovely patterns in this particular mod. This is a new one. I think this is a good looking mod. This is the fully titanium job from Hellfire, and also they've released titanium. I think this is the first time I've ever done it. Titanium beauty rings, 22 to 24, 3 different styles. A kind of a really short one, a kind of a medium one, and a super high one. 22 to 24. Prices on them are the price on the Titan is it's nearly $1,000. It's a few hundred quid. I think it's like 800 quid. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head.
Yeah, but there is just to say the tooling on titanium. That is fucking hard metal.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that before. And if you look up close on those little because it looks a bit like kind of dots and not dots and dashes. It looks a bit like that thing.
Look at it, Morse code. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like Morse code, but if you can see what looks like circles at one end, but it's not just the way the light's catching it. They are perfectly straight and flush, and it is sexy. Anyway, the TI beauty rings, the titanium beauty rings, I think they're already sold out. They're probably all sold out. Things they go like that on the Hellfire store. They were £32.40 to £34.80. The small one was 32. The bigger ones were 34, 35 quid. That's it. That's all I've got this week.
Before go into Triumph Guitar, I'm just going to do just I think news. But a bit of a customs fuckery with Pistache, but I'm on top of it, and I've got basically if you ordered Pistache, it's you haven't had the shipping email yet, you'll get it tomorrow. I'm working my sold outs, and if you missed the first burst of Pistache, more than half has already sold. It went that fast. It's going back on the site tomorrow at 4 p.m. and so you'll be able to buy it all weekend in concentrates and kits. What was it? Triumph Guitar.
Blimey.
I like this shit.
Yeah, you do. Should we get into the old Travava?
Travava.
For anyone new watching, James, what is Travava?
Travava, it's things that remind you of vaping that aren't actually vaping at all. That aren't really vaping at all, should I say? Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. We do it. We do it. It's a stupid idea. It's a bloody stupid idea is what it was. Okay, when you ready, Rich?
I'm just replying to the very mean Matt Fox. Let's crack on. The first Travava this week is a Seat Ibiza.
Lovely. This is from Alex McNally. This is it's a shed related one. Now remember, I'm not doing any of the genre. I've narrowed them down. Some people, if you've sent it, Private Talk wasn't to the show this week or the last 2 weeks, and they reminded you of John's abusive finger or my ridiculous shoes. They didn't get the shoe. They didn't get the shoe, I'm afraid. Yeah. Okay, so this is Alex McNally. It's shed. That's what it is. Look at that.
Right. Shed. I'd never got that.
Yeah, he's probably driving there. It's probably quite dangerous. Well done, Alex, for staying alive and taking that try of the top of
Well, it looks like a big traffic jam.
Yeah.
When in Rome.
Yeah,
this is a reach.
We're looking at
cake.
A 3D printed battery holder.
Lovely. This is from Andy Fairchild. This is a great British Bake Off Mark White collaboration. Yeah, it's reminding me Stripes. He does that Stripe as far as I'm aware.
He doesn't do that stripe because it's garish as shit.
Never pause Bake Off.
I've never seen it, so I'd have to pause it. That's how it works.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. It's been downgraded in our house. Bake Off. It's now relegated to drinking telly.
Yeah, agreed. That's fine. You're okay with that.
Next one is it's a tractor engine. It's a traction engine.
But I think you've accidentally done a reminds you of John thing.
No. It's Marmot.
Good. Oh, that's all right then. I was like, because I mentioned the Marmot traction engines the other day on something else. Yeah, it's good. They are awesome. If you've got one, so cool.
Yeah, it's also.
Brad, do you know what that is? Brad,
not a clue in the
world.
world.
It's used in agriculture
as
a vehicle.
I know what a tractor is.
No, right.
It's like a traction engine.
No. But that is a steam-powered toy. You actually fill up the boiler.
Legitimate steam.
Yeah, seriously. And
I'm legitimately Googling. I want one.
Yeah. How big is it?
What, that big?
Yay big?
About yay. And it chuckles along, and you can power a carousel off it or anything. It's wicked. Lovely. Love it.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
We're now looking at a zip.
Okay, we've got a few from Austin Gray's been quite. If you notice the zip on the bottom of the zip says ideal.
I like it.
Why does it say that?
Because that's who makes it.
Is it?
No, it's an Oakley. It's an Oakley. Yeah. I mean, it could be. I've never heard of the ideal zip makers. YKK.
Who normally makes zips? I'm going to read my zip.
YKK.
Yeah, YKK. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Looking at my dick.
It's good anyway, isn't it?
I'm bored jogging.
It's good. Next one should be Haku vodka.
Yep.
Again from Austin Gray. That's a good one. It's good. It's good. The Haku vodka. Next one.
It's some engine oil.
Evolve.
Yeah, this is from Bob. Evolve, and the reason this one made the grade was because the Evolve is spelled exactly the same as Evolve. Yeah.
Oh right.
Next one.
Oh nice. It looks like a tattoo on a hand.
Yeah. This is from Charles Pete. It doesn't look a bit like Todd. It looks like that cartoon, the caricature cartoon he's got. I think it looks exactly like that. I think that's pretty.
I think it looks like. I think anybody who's ever met Russell Blair, that's exactly who it looks like.
No,
that's not bad. Yeah, Russell looks like a thumb that someone's drawn a face on.
Nah, that doesn't look like Russell.
That's harsh.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, you mean,
look at the thing.
I don't mean my thumb. My thumb's better looking, Rich. A thumb.
I'll try.
It does look like that.
Try and do some technology.
Someone needs to explain the next.
Okay, we're now looking at a squirrel.
I don't even get it.
Yeah, this is Colin Albans.
Go on.
It's another Todd thing.
A Todd thing?
Yeah, because he gets distracted in the squirrel.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's that, isn't it? It's that thing.
In the background there, Brad, there is actually a real tractor.
It's the dog from Up, isn't it?
That's what I thought it was about. Was the tractor in the background?
Bonner's Lodge.
I
would go there.
I would.
If it was what it sounds like.
I'd probably go to B Cottage and just be down the road from it. Pop down. Maybe have a...
Why isn't it B and B Cottage? Huh?
Oh, dear. Maybe next time.
But
see, somebody else said Russell Blair. Look at that in the chat.
Who's responsible for Bonner's Lodge, James?
Scott Bonner.
That was from Colin Burnhope.
Oh, we're now looking at Todd Dawes.
Yeah, Todd Dawes is dad around.
James
doesn't everything.
Things that remind you.
There's so many Todd things.
Oh, definitely a coil.
Oh,
Next one.
I wonder what that's really getting used
And
for.
Thornton, yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
I liked it. It's good. It looks like a bit of a fucked up.
It has got a bit of a kind of a Clapton-y look to it as well, I think.
Yeah,
small wires.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
That's very hot though. You don't really want to.
Because it's got no cotton in, has it? It's got no cotton in.
Oh my gosh!
He's priming his coils.
It's another tractor from Frape.
It is, but he's tagged me. See?
Yeah, this one is about you.
No, it isn't, because it is Marmot. It's fine.
Still Marmot. But they both sent them in this week, and yeah,
I really want to be there when Brad sees a steam-powered traction engine.
I fucking want one so bad.
It's so cool.
So
honestly.
cool.
We did too. They did a stationary.
Come to Beamish, Brad. Come to Beamish. You'll love it.
Oh, I love it.
Spotless Victorian era inkwells. Dug these up the other day.
Oh,
gorgeous.
Yeah, this is from Darren Fuller. This is one of my favourites of this particular week. That looks a lot. It looks immensely like that. I mean, if that doesn't remind you of vaping, then what exactly would?
that's really weird. My dad's got these in his house. They will have been near a monastery because they used to throw them in the garden. Monks, when they're writing stuff like 100 years ago, used to throw the ink in the garden. But like we've got like 10 of these in our house. Just me and my dad.
I wonder how the bloke in question here dug them up.
Oh, you just dig them up. They're just literally.
Shovel.
If you've got like a.
But they're not going to show up on a metal detector, are they?
No, they're literally they're only like if you are like planting some stuff, you pick up those if you're in the right area. There's hundreds of the bastard thing.
Right.
Yeah, there's literally for a bit of power.
Omega 10.
What the fuck? Oh, Amiga.
Yeah, it's got the Orm sign on. It says Omega.
I
That's
remember
Johnny
the
Murphy.
What the fuck is it? A salami or something?
No, it looks like some
That's
like
the
underlay or
insulation that
something.
you're going to put in the shed.
MM.
Yeah, this is
I think it's a doubler, isn't it?
because of the thing
Like
behind.
It's like a steampunk version of. Do you remember that dripper with the fan on at the top?
Yeah, but that's Reachy, whereas the MM thing is nice and. Oh, hey, John, don't put reaches where they don't belong. You just.
I think didn't Mark Todd used to use a similar thing when he used to do table cam as well, didn't he? He used to have like a gridded mat.
Yeah, that's fine. We got one of them downstairs.
Oh yeah, we've all had them. Have we not
Now
all
then,
had them?
this is controversial. It's a man smoking a cigar.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, well, the intention was it's a Moxon lookalike.
But I think it's
Yeah.
Rick.
I sort of immediately went Rick.
Yeah, I'm more of a Rick than a Moxon.
Isn't it funny that
No, I say
Rick and
Moxon,
Nigel
I say
don't look alike, yet someone can look like them both?
Yeah, I would say that was like Skinny Rick. That's what I'd call it.
Hobo Rick.
Yeah, Gary Glitter Rick.
Let's have a watch chat and see what it is. Oh, Matt Fox said, "Fuck you, John," but I think they've lost intonation.
A lot of people say that.
Oh, yeah, it's normal. It's fine. My wife says it loads. Yeah, fuck you, John.
They have to catch up, don't they? So, Rick or Moxon.
We need to know if it looks like Nigel or Rick.
John Probst says it's a Rickson.
Oh, Rick or Moxon. Let's go. Rickson. Tramp Rick. Love child.
Johan's questioning if the fact that it looks like Nigel and Rick means it's a doubler.
Yeah, but Johan's a prick. I already said it. Roxon. I quite like that.
Colin's just rocked up.
But there is. I will say that the main consensus is "fuck you, John."
Yeah, let's move along. We're looking at an Aspire on an iStick.
Yeah, it's an Aspire laptop.
Yeah, it's the Acer Aspire.
Yeah, the Acer Aspire laptop.
Who uses a straw at home?
No idea.
That's just wrong, isn't it?
No, I won't bother.
Fucking closure of Pizza Express could see dangerous rise in black market dough balls.
That was a joke about black market. I'm sure James just puts the whole mine on there to embarrass me because I agree that's shit.
Every machine is a smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough.
Oh, that was good. That was funny.
That was quite funny, yeah.
Oh, we're now looking at a Sennheiser SKP 100 G3. I presume that's what model it is just by looking at it.
That is the winner of the week.
Yeah. It's very
I like the Victorian Inkwell as well. I think we might have had this Sennheiser before, if I'm honest with you.
I don't think we have. I don't think
in the right places, you'd get 250 quid for that.
Was you really? Yeah, pretty good.
If it is a SKP
the Inkwells
100
was
G3.
good. I will say I would buy one of those as a tank. It's very funky.
Good bits kit now.
We've got more good ones to come.
Oh,
Next
we've got
one.
Mark Elliott on Facebook.
Oh, no,
is it Twitter?
Oh, is it not?
Oh, I don't know. We're looking at Mark Elliott and Malcolm Tucker.
Yeah, this is from John Malcolm. This is a Twitter post.
Oh, that's good because it's a doubler because he's got Mark Elliott and then an angry Scotsman. So that is like a doubler, isn't it?
Aye. Okay, next one.
It looks like a little attic.
Yeah, this is another good one. This is. I've got three favourites. This is my third favourite, I think. Yes. Yeah, the rest of them are crap. Yeah. This is from Comedo Cam, I think, and it looks a lot like it. I like it a lot. You two fellas have swapped around spaces on my screen. It's Comedo Cam. It looks a lot from the top, from the side. It's a Harley Davidson bouncy bit off the front thing. I don't know, it's something like that. I don't know about motorbikes. Next one.
Instaloft.
Oh, this is really poor. This is from Kevlar.
It's really
lucky.
This is from Kevin Watts.
What is it? How is it a Travava?
It's meant to be the box from a
reminder. Oh, that is bullshit.
It is. It's absolutely rancid, but yeah.
200 feet, Crack Hill on the old sat nav.
Yeah. Another one from Kevlar Travava. This
I
is
don't
from
mind a sat nav
Kevin
Travava.
Watts again. No, but Crack Hill. It's not the best one I've had. Not the best one I've had. But we did have another map-based one. It was 5 head that we've had in the past. That's
at least they happen organically.
Yeah.
IDSR melodic chords.
Okay, this is from Mark Cactus Punch Shelby. This is a Cthulhu.
That's cool.
Cthulhu.
Oh, here we go. We've got a picture of Prince William and the lovely Kate.
And there's Nigel Moxon again. Nigel Moxon.
Clearly the Moxmeister.
Yeah, look at him there. Look,
Mock's
He's
so
looking
cute.
down. He's probably making a mod. Probably making a mod there.
I like the guy.
Dr. Pepper himself.
I like the guy who's just in front of William on the left-hand side, who's surreptitiously going bald, and he's just probably clocked it just in the cam. I look an idiot. I've got a ponytail. I like it.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I thought he had a headband on. I thought it was sporty.
No, it's terrible baldness.
He also looks like he's constipated.
Kate looking well as per. This is a stencil of the Yeti.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is pretty poor. This is Mike Deary's. It reminded him of
The Yeti.
Oh no, who's got the Bigfoot and the Hendersons? Oh, his name's escaped us right now. The Bigfoot and the Hendersons. Yeah, he had that as his avatar for a long time. It reminded him of him. That's Mike Davis.
That's bad.
Yeah,
it's like
one.
around the back of Banks's house, isn't it? Oh, we're looking at a load of pods stuck to a wall.
Yeah, this is from Paul at JK.
What's really going on here?
Get that now.
No idea.
She went to visit a 3D printing factory.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the progression of 3D printers. That's what.
Oh wow, that's nice. Okay. We're looking at a menu.
Strawberry Fields.
Yep.
Yeah, Strawberry Fields.
Simon
Sawyers. We'll miss you on Facebook, Si. Come back. You're not watching this.
And pomegranate, which reminded
now
him of you,
looking at a
James.
naked man.
Oh, but
Face farm.
It's a bit of a
schwa.
Yeah. That's from Paul Iverson.
Vape Liquido.
This is from Rainy. Handle. Yeah, really. It's from Raina. Yeah.
I don't mind
in the
it.
table.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, this was good.
Screen grab from Star Trek.
This is a grand one. This is from Russell Thumbhead Blair. That's horrible. Russell is such a lovely man.
I can
This is from
say
Russell Blair.
like a thumb.
You did say that.
Is that Voyager or Deep Space Nine?
I don't know. I thought it was like, oh, it's a new series of Red Dwarf back. But obviously it's not Dwarf at all, is it? It's but it looks like he's got a mod in his hand. It looks good. I like it a lot. Very, very good. Very, very good. Next one.
Alrighty, and the next one is Rock and Ice magazine.
It's from Sam Newitt. Okay, it might be. It's a bit of a trick. It's tenuous. It's tenuous. The importance of getting pumped. Get pumped. This is another Todd one. It's another Todd one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
That's right. That's right. Russ. It was Lloyd Vaughn. That was the previous one before. That was the Yeti. The Bigfoot and the Hendersons thing was Lloyd Vaughn's.
Yeah. Fair play. We're now looking at Philip Shaver.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from.
I just thought it was sweet because Sasser's very effeminate, isn't he? And really like a wispy little skinny guy. And he's nervous. And I just thought it was nice to see him pop out and try. Give it a go.
Yeah, he's like that unassuming janitor, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Just little shy guy. Well done, mate. Cheers, sweetheart.
We're now looking at a YouTube video by Todd Phoenix.
Todd.
Yeah, that's it. I think
literally is that it? That shit.
That is
Ajax.
I didn't even get this one.
It might be a reference to the new Ajax tank from
Because it's scotch free.
That is.
Oh, scratch free.
I read that wrong.
What the fuck?
It's also a scotch free though. There was absolutely no scotch in Ajax.
You're absolutely right. But if we're doing Travavas on that, this is the Dog Father by Snoop Doggy Dogg.
What's that?
Okay.
Vape.
Yeah, the track's called Vapes. I've listened to them loads of times. I've never even.
We are
never
Legion.
Even
we are Bob.
This is Steve Davison.
This is
These
a
are
Todd as
all
well.
just
It's a
Todd.
This is
You said to them, stop doing John one.
This one's a Todd one. Todd research.
And Todd is
Yeah,
it?
you know where it is. They've took notice. They went, "Oh, we're not allowed to do John ones, so let's do Todd ones." That's
Yeah.
that's the natural progression of it.
We're now looking at an Instagram story.
Oh, this is from
It's got to be judo
Tom
related.
Beatty. Oh, right. Okay, this is Tom Beatty. It's Orms in the background. Orms in the background.
Okay. Get ticket now.
What? I can't see.
Order at the shed. It's another Todd one. The shed.
It is. Did we miss the Todd research one?
No, we did that.
Yeah, that's Todd. Yeah, Todd.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, but you know what I really liked about that one? That's another one of those ones from Tom Beatty where he was in the dentist getting a fill-in, and he like stopped the dentist and said, "Do you mind if I just take a photo of your machine for a Travava?" And I thought, I love it when people do
There's
that.
a sign-in sheet underneath. It could look well dubious.
Oh, can we see who's in there? Oh, yeah.
No one in surgery.
We're now looking at a Regency lorry, which again is a Todd one.
Is it? Oh, yeah, because the liquid, yeah. Todd.
Yeah.
And we're all the way back to the Ibiza.
Trev Larkin.
Good old Trev.
Lovely.
Love
So
that
that was I've got Tommy Torch on there for some reason. Yeah, so that was that was things that remind you of Mark Todd that aren't really Mark Todd at all.
Right.
Sorry about that.
I think we're done. I just want to do a quick giveaway, actually. This is a giveaway that's been sponsored by Bandwagon E-Liquids, or Phil, who we really, really love. I've got 3 short fills here. I've got Grappy, which is grape menthol. I've got Acker, which is apple caramel cake. And I've got blackberry raspberry menthol, which is called Brie. And there is a post currently on the Ideal Home Show Facebook page, and it just says, "Do you want them?" If you want them, well, you'll have to answer whether you want them or not. And
Yeah, you should make them say a specific word.
No, do you want them? And
no, because people that haven't watched the programme could say yes.
I don't know. They don't know what it is.
You should make people say nope.
You could, all right then. Right, no. Right, no, I don't fucking want them. No, I don't fucking want them. And then on Monday or early next week.
Or more obscure, because people might really not want them. Make people write cheese.
I've already done it. No, I don't fucking want them. No, I don't fucking want them. Look, and you can win.
No, because that doesn't look good, does it, for Bandwagon?
I didn't write Bandwagon on the fucking post.
Oh.
They don't know. These are fantastic liquids from Phil.
Really should have ran this by me.
I just literally made it up on the spot. Listen, look, there's 3. There's 3. I'll include a Nick shot with each, so I'll end up just over 3 milligrams, between 3 and 4. And they're yours. And you can have them. I'll do it.
What have people got to do, John? It's quite
just
confusing.
like, no, I don't fucking want them.
No, I don't fucking want them.
No, I don't fucking want them. And then you can have, there's 3. They're all, they're 50s with a shot, 60. Aren't you? Aren't they? Yeah, 50 with a shot, 60. They'll end up just over 3 milligrams, between 3 and 4. You can have them. Done.
Beautiful. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure broadcasting to you tonight. Catch you on the flippity flip.
We're going to explain what corn is and a traction engine and steam is to Brad.
Brad needs
So
lessons.
smash the like. Remember to smash the
that
like
button, subscribe,
prayer,
share, tweet.
Ring the bell.
Bring one friend
Tell your
next week.
friends.